Hey, it's Naomi. So before we dive in, if you've ever finished an episode feeling like, okay, I needed that, but wish you had something to actually walk you through the healing, well, that's exactly why I built Elevate Me. It's a self-love journey, an AI guided, but it's written in my voice. Meditations, workbook, real tools for real healing. So head on over to studio.com/Naomi to check it out. All right? All right, so let's get into today's episode. Monday, we talked about the messenger effect, how your visible transformation creates permission for others. And today, we're going to identify who's watching you. We see the impact that you're already having, and we figure out how to amplify it. Because you might not realize it, but you are already being a messenger. So let's make it conscious. Welcome to the Season of Self-Love Podcast. I am your host, Naomi Banks, and I am so glad that you are here. As we continue to transform in life, so does this podcast. In Season 5, we're moving differently, more intentional, more action, less learning, more doing, less waiting, and more living. This is a space where we don't just talk about self-love, we practice it. We don't just discuss transformation, we live it. Every episode is an invitation to do the work with me, not just listen to me talk about it. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Naomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself intentionally is a foundation of true transformation. So get ready, get your journal, get your pen, because in Season 5, we're doing the work together. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful people, again, welcome to the Season of Self-Love Podcast. I'm your host, Goddess Naomi Banks. And today is Action Wednesday. Well, everything that we've learned on Monday, the messages that have been brought across the thing, is today we're going to learn how to apply them, to do the action with it, all right? All right, so before we dive into today's exercise, let's ground ourselves, all right? Today we are seeing the impact where we're already having. So wherever you are right now, I want you to close your eyes if you can, get comfortable. I want you to take a deep breath in. Now slowly release. And I want you to say to yourself, people are watching me and they are learning from my transformation. Inhale. Exhale. I want you to say to yourself, I am already a messenger. I am already creating the messenger effect. Inhale. Exhale. Now I want you to say, now I'm going to make it conscious and amplify it. Inhale. Exhale. My impact matters. My visibility matters. My story matters. Now one more breath in. Release. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and let's begin. All right, so on Monday, we learned that the messenger effect equals what happens when you stay visible through your transformation, that it creates permission, roadmaps, community, a narrative shift, and multiplied impacts. So today we're going to identify your messenger effect. All right, so let's start with exercise 1. So get your journals out. And let's get ready, all right? So exercise 1 is, who is watching you? First, we have to identify who's in our audience. Who's in your audience? Who's your followers? Who is in your immediate community that you might sit down and have conversations with? Those are who you see. So here it is. List your watchers. That's step 1. Who sees your transformation? Again, examples: family, parents, siblings, partners, kids, friends, colleagues, your community members, your social media followers, your coaching clients, people that's in your faith community, people who you mentor, and people you don't even know that are watching, but these are your people. And I want you to write down every one of them as you think of them and who is watching your journey in some way. All right. All right, steps 2 is what are they seeing? What are they seeing? Now, for each group, I want you to ask, what transformation are they witnessing? So, for example, if your partner is watching, that they learn to set boundaries. You taught them how to set boundaries. You claim your power. You build your community, and you refuse to hide. And if your kids are watching, you heal from your past, and you are prioritizing your mental health, and you keep promises to yourself, and you become unbroken. So these are some of the things that, by just watching you, that your community see. Whether, again, your children, they see that you are now putting up boundaries, that you are now prioritizing your mental health. They see that you are keeping promises to yourself. And in that way, you become unbroken. And with your colleagues, they're watching you, your transition in careers. You build something meaningful. You stay true to your values, and you refuse to play small. And with your clients are watching you as you walk the walk, that you're not just teaching, that you're actually living it. So you are proof that the transformation do work. So now for each group, I want you to write down what transformation they're seeing. All right. All right. In step 3, what permission are you giving them? What permission are you giving them? And so the real question is what permission are these people getting from watching you? So what permission are these people getting from watching me? That is the question that you should be asking. So for example, your kids are getting permission to prioritize their mental health. They're getting permission to set boundaries. They're getting permission to claim their identity. And say your friend is stuck in a toxic relationship. They're getting permission to leave, to believe that they deserve better. Y'all get it? And your colleagues who are afraid to change careers is getting permission to take that leap. And your followers who are dealing with shame and other things they are getting permission to stay visible, to refuse to hide. And see, for each group, I want you to write down what permission that your visible transformation is giving them. All right, in exercise 2 is the evidence of the impact. Now, when we look for proof of the messenger effect, this is what we need to look for. Step 1, the feedback that you receive. Has anyone told you that your transformation impacted them? And I want you to think about it. Think about it. Did someone say to you, for example, seeing you do that gave me courage. I left my toxic relationship because of you. You honestly helped me to get sober. I started a business because you showed me that it was possible. You made it safe for me to tell my story. Something like that. So I want you to write down any feedback that you received about your impact. And if you can't think of a direct feedback, that's okay. I want you to just let's move to the next step. All right. All right. So the step 2 is observable changes. Have you noticed people around you changing? That's what it means. Have you noticed people around you changing? Not because you told them to, but because they watched you. Because they watch you. Say, for instance, a friend setting boundaries. You did it first, so now they're doing it. Maybe your partner started therapy because they seen you do it. So it said, let me, modeled after you. Or maybe a colleague left their job, so you showed them how. Or maybe your child or your family members saw that you were healing, and now they're starting to do the work to heal. So it's like, what changes have you noticed in people who are watching you? What changes have you noticed in people who are watching you? I can say this. My oldest daughter, my baby girl, I see so many amazing changes in her. And truly, ah, I could talk about her all day in such an amazing way that I truly see that she's been watching me. I mean, they all been watching me, but her specifically because she's been with me since I've been 19 years old. So she's been through this whole journey with me, and I can say this, is that some of my decisions have created some of her sorrow and hurt, if that makes sense. And so my healing has been her healing as well. So her watching me heal in real time and being on this platform and doing the things that I do have inspired and encouraged her to do the same, to do the same. And so she does my app. She has my app and she uses it daily. She has applied several conversations that we have into her own life, and just watching me just grow and change and set boundaries and those things, she has applied those in her life. And so many amazing things have happened for her in going through that and understanding that she deserves better in her relationship. So that's just one of the examples to let you know that this is real. Even some of you that are listening right now have hit me up in the DMs or have emailed me and told me that the things that I've said, that I shared and that I went through, that you can resonate with it, but also that it's giving you the courage to do A, B, C, and D. I don't want to say exactly but you all know who you are, and I love that. I know that this is why that I was blessed with this platform and have been blessed with the journey that I've been through. Now, step 3 is the ripple effect. So the question that you need is, have you noticed the impact multiplying? Like if someone you impacted is now impacting others. That's a multitude messenger effect. And I want you to write it down. Any examples of that ripple of what it is. All right. So for instance, let me go back to my daughter, my oldest daughter. Her friends that she has, they're watching her and she can see the difference in them. I see people that again DM me that listens to this show, that some of their actions that they actually heard or learned from listening to this podcast or even listening to me, that they've shared that with their loved ones, or their loved ones have been seeing them and say, wow, I want that too. I want to feel like that too. And so that is the ripple effect when I talk about that, is being when you're being of service to others and you are allowing one to see your authenticity and you are being bold and honest about your journey, and your journey is the messenger. When you do that, you see so many amazing things from people. And we need that now. We need to see that now. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. And I just got like a little emotional. So we're gonna keep it moving before I get off track. So let's talk about exercise 3 is, what are you teaching consciously and not? And so now I want to get specific about what transformation is teaching. First, I want you to list your lessons. What lessons is your visible transformation teaching? For example, for me, leaving my industry and becoming a coach and a teacher and, letting them know that growth is possible. You understand? Shame doesn't have to be a permanent, that you can rewrite your story. Another example is by setting boundaries. You're teaching you deserve respect. Saying no is powerful and your needs matter. Another one is just healing from your trauma. And what you're teaching that your pain doesn't define who you are. It helps, is available. Healing is possible. And by building a community, this is another one, you're teaching vulnerability creates connection, that you're not alone, and that when in community, that is strength. And by staying visible, you are teaching that honesty is brave, transformation is real, and you don't have to hide. So the question is, what are you teaching? What are you teaching just by living your transformation? All right, so the next step is, are you teaching what you intend? Now ask, am I teaching what I want to teach? Am I teaching what I want to teach? Or are the messages that I'm sending I don't want to send? So, so let me say this. And why I say this is because I remember the very first oh my God, I remember the very first, I guess you want to call it like event that I had, and it was I did it a few years ago, what I wanted to heal in spirituality and sexuality. And I remember this beautiful spirit soul, amazing person of mine was there, and they were helping. And I remember getting a letter back from this specific person, and I remember what he wrote down.
Let's take a quick break.
Hey, it's Naomi. Before we get into today's episode, if you are on your self-love journey, you know it's not just the mindset work, right? It's taking care of your whole self. That's body included. That's why I partner with Goldie. Use my code AskNaomi at checkout for a discount on the ashwagandha gummies. That is my daily go-to for staying grounded. So the link will be in the show notes. All right? Okay, so let's get into it. In it, and I was like, oh my God, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant in it. And I'm laughing now is because I'm like, wow, but this was so very much in the beginning of me sharing my transformation. I've been transforming, but me sharing my transformation and what that message that I was giving to him. It could have been several other people as well. I was like, oh no, that's not it. That's not what I mean. And not to shame that person in any kind of way. That wasn't what I was wanting, people to see. Yes, I want you to be comfortable with your sexuality, and I want you to embrace your spirituality. But what was given to me or sent to me, that was not what I was the message that I wanted to teach. If y'all get that, if y'all understand that, so that's one of the examples to truly understanding what it is that you are teaching. And as I always say, I'm very responsible on what I say on this platform and on my Ask Naomi platform. Not that I am, what's that word? I'm getting brain fog right now. What's that? Censoring myself. No, that's not it. I know how important it is to have a platform and to have influence. You understand? And I understand the power for the words that come out of my mouth, that come out of one's mouth. And so you want to make sure that when you speak your transformation and you speak your life, that is authentic. And that is what I make sure of. I make sure that I'm telling my story and the people around me that's within my story. And so I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't put any no extra seasoning that I don't already have in my cabinet, if y'all know what I mean. All right, so let's talk about some more examples. So if I'm teaching self-care, right? If I'm teaching self-care is selfish, is that what I want? If I'm teaching you have to be perfect, is that what I want? So if I'm teaching hide your struggle, is that what I want? So the thing is to get honest, to be authentic in your stories, all right? All right, so exercise 4 is amplifying your messenger effect. Now, this is where I want you to make it intentional. All right. Step 1, I want you to choose your focus. All of the lessons that you're teaching, which one do you want to amplify? Which transformation do you want to be visible about? What transformation do you want to be visible about? I want you to write it down. For examples, I want to be more visible about my healing journey. I want to openly discuss my mental health. Whatever it is that is your story, is your transformation. I want to show people my transformation doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I want to model boundary setting more clearly, or I want to be vocal about my faith. I want to be open about my failures. What do you want to amplify? And to how would you make it more visible? Or better yet, how can I be more visible about this? That's the question that you ask yourself. How can I be more visible with it? Share more on social media, be more open in conversations, write or create content about it. Speak about it proudly, mentor someone in that area, join a community around that topic, post regularly about it, and be vulnerable about your ongoing journey. How would you amplify your visibility? How would you do it? Would you use any one of those examples? Write it down. All right, step 3, who do you want to give permission to? Who do you want to give permission? And I want you to get specific, like I want to, write this down. I want to give, I'm going to say sex workers. I want to give sex workers permission to be unashamed. Here's another example. I want to give young women from my industry. Here's another one. I want to give young women in my industry permission to become anything they want. Here's another one. I want to give men permission to prioritize their mental health. I want to give parents permission to heal from their past. I want to give my children permission to be fully themselves. So my question is now, who do you want to give permission? And what permission? All right. All right. So step 4 is your action for this week. Which one of the actions would you take to amplify your messenger effect? Would you share your vulnerability by posting it on social media? Would you have an honest conversation about someone you're influencing? Would you create content about your journey? Would you join a community and be openly, visibly? Or will you mentor someone? I want you to be vocal about something that you've been hiding. What's your action? What is your action? In exercise 5, you know what's coming up, the constant messenger commitment. Finally, we commit to being a conscious messenger. So I want you to do first is I want you to set your intention. All right, you got your pencil ready and your journal ready? Oh, wow, I forgot to bring my journal. Okay. I'm sorry, that was just a little burp of a thought that I had in my mind. All right, so here is the commitment statement. I commit to being visible, conscious messenger. I commit to teaching whatever the lessons are. Lessons. I commit to giving people, whatever the people are, permission to whatever the transformation is. I understand my impact matters and I choose to amplify it. All right. So step 2, who do you tell? Who needs to know you're doing this? Who needs to understand that you're being more intentional about your visibility? And then the next one is check in. This is the ongoing practice. Every month, ask who's watching me. What am I teaching them? Is that what I want to teach? And how can I amplify my messenger effect? I want you to make it a practice. Make it a practice, all right? All right, y'all, it is time for our closing affirmation. So if you politely repeat after me, all right? I am a messenger. People are watching my transformation. I am already creating a messenger effect. And now I'm making it conscious. I am teaching. What's your lesson you're teaching? I am giving. What people are you giving permission to transformation? My impact multiplies. My visibility matters. My story changes lives. I am the conscious messenger. I am reclaimed. I am unashamed. And I am unstoppable. All right? All right, my beautiful people. Well, here you just identified your messenger effect. You saw who's watching, what you're teaching, and the impact that you're already having. And you made a commitment to amplify it. So next Monday, we will do something powerful. We are going to help claim your full messenger story. But this week, I want you to take one action to amplify it visibly. I want you to be more open, more honest, and more visible. The people that are watching needs to see that it is possible. And you are the one to show them. All right? This is your Gertie Goddess, Naomi Banks, here reminding you that you are not just living for yourself, that you are living as a messenger. So I want you to own it, all right? Own it. All right, this work that we're doing is real. And if you want more guided support and becoming a conscious member, in phase 2, we talk about integration and elevation over there at Elevate Me. And Elevate Me is here. So where you integrate all that you've learned, you can step fully into your power. You can learn more from studio.com/Naomi. All right. And hey, if there is something in today's episode that hit home for you, I want to hear about it. Text me or leave a voice message note using the link in the show notes. All right. And as I always say, be good to one another in yourselves and always keep it sexy. Love yourself first so you can love others well. And remember, the season of self-love is now on YouTube. Yes, if you tired of hearing me visually, you want to see what I look like. Yeah, I look a little crazy today because I'm getting ready to do my workout. Oh, I don't know why I haven't said this. I am currently doing what I call my 30 hard. My 30 hard. And I am on day 8. So what that consists of is 30 minutes at my altar with prayer, meditation, writing in my journal, 30-minute walk, 30 minutes of either reading or listening to something that can elevate you consciously, your mind, spirit, or soul, a 30-minute workout, and a healthy eating. And those 5 things that I've been doing, and I actually added on 30 minutes for me, is 30 minutes of writing, whether it's a part of my script or in my book. Take time for 30 minutes to do that a day. And that's just for me to move forward besides the work that I already do. So that is a dedication to me. And actually, I'm going to talk about this more in next month. I believe that's next month. Yeah, in next month about this. All right. All right, my beautiful people. Again, thank you so much. It's time for me to go. So you have an amazing, amazing day. Have a good one.